Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS Edtech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
An awesome and amazing afternoon, everyone. So it's Tuesday. So let's choose to be glad. Of course, we need to stay happy. All right. So I hope everyone is okay wherever we are and in whatever circumstance that we are in. All right. So this afternoon, you will be with me in our subject, English 8. So please enjoy learning with me. So once again, welcome to our ETUlay online tutorial. So this is a free platform to all our learners who are having their modular as their having their modules, and of course I hope you are preparing now your materials, your bulb and your notebook. And we are here live every Tuesday from 2:20 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So to all our learners who are watching in Facebook and YouTube, I am Tutor B. So let's enjoy learning. And before I will continue to my lesson, I would like to greet Nicole Lorenzo. Good afternoon po. She's a grade 8 watching from in Good Ramona Integrated School, Angadanan West District. Hello, Nicole. We have here also with us Princess Manalo watching from Ekgal West District, Dina Magdale. All right. So, again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, our subject is English 8. We are now in quarter 4, week 5. Yes, nasa week 5 na po tayo, my dearest learners. And our topic for today is about synthesizing essential information from various sources. So there are a lot of information that we can synthesize. Okay, so hello, Mark Platon. Mark is always with us every Tuesday. He's from Isdao, Pasig City. Yes, and we have here also Princess Manalo. Grade 8 also. Crisana May Bayao Batallones. Okay, from Apayao. of Copis National High School, Northern Corner District, Division of Apayao. You have here also Glyza Gahas watching from uh, other parts of the Philippines. So thank you so much for being with me. So for our review, uh, in the previous week, we able to determine how to organize an information by outlining. Okay? Then we also learn how to differentiate the types of outline and you able to create formal outlines appropriately. Okay? So, with that, I would like to tackle first what is an outline for you to clarify what you have learned last week. Okay, so an outline is a tool used to organize written ideas about a topic or thesis into a logical order. So, who among you have been with me last week who studied about outlining? If you were here with me, you can send a message or you can comment there. Uh, I am in. Okay, I am in. Again, if you were with me last week, please comment down below in the comment section. I am in. So, Sunshine Panganiban watching, listening from Ichagi West District, Dunya Gulfwood High School, Sunshine Panganiban from 8 Jasnan. Yes, Mark, I am in. Yes, I know Mark is with me every Tuesday afternoon. All right. So, uh, when we talk about an outline, again, it is a tool used to organize written ideas about a topic or thesis into a logical order. These are the two important words logical order. It arranges major topics, subtopics, and supporting details. So, these are the three things that you should remember in outlining. Make sure to identify the major topic, subtopics, and of course, the supporting details. Writers use outlines when writing their papers in order to know which topic to cover in what order. All right. So, um, this skill, outlining is a skill, by the way, okay, is very essential. And we studied three types of outline. Who can remember? Oh, Mark, can you still remember what are the types of outline that we studied last week? How about you, Princess? Oh, have you still remember what are the three types of outline? If you do, remember it, please type it in our comment section. What are the types of outline? Oh, how about you, Jamie, De Vera Bornolia, oh, Glyza, Diane, Sunshine? Have you still remember what are the three types of outline? Because we need to review so that I can know if you still remember what you have studied. Okay, so let's check your answer. Oh, Mark, Platon remembered well one of the type of outline according to him formal outline. Yes, and in formal outline there are two types, the topic outline and the sentence outline. Very well done, Mark Platon. Congratulations. Again, there are three types of outline. We have the free form outline, we have the modified outline, and third, the formal outline. And Mark uh, really remembered the third one, the formal outline. And again, there are two kinds of formal outline, the topic outline and the sentence outline. Okay, so for the last part of our review, read the article. There's an article here. Then complete the outline by referring back to the article. So we need to supply the blank with an appropriate answer later. Okay, so the topic is this: alcohol and drug abuse can affect one economically. The cost of alcohol abuse is high and getting higher. The cost of DUIs can be enormous. Alcohol costs are always rising because of rising production costs as well as state and local taxes. The cost of drug abuse can be high. Even the arrest for the possession of a minute amount of drugs can result in high bail and court costs. The cost of drugs fluctuates drastically according to the type of drug, its availability, and the amount. Alcohol and drug abuse can have severe psychological effects. Alcohol abuse can damage a person psychologically. Alcohol is a depressant and can alter the personality of anyone. The abuse of alcohol can lead to the psychological addiction to alcohol. Drug abuse can be detrimental to one psychologically. Drugs impair one's ability to function normally because of the hallucinations or numbers of getting high. Drugs can become a psychological addiction. Alcohol and drug abuse can affect one physically. Alcohol and drug abuse can cause physical problems. The most common disease among alcoholic is cirrhosis of the liver. The massive consumption of alcohol can lead to alcohol poisoning and death. Drug abuse has many physical implications. Drug abuse has been linked to the damage of brain tissue. The unpredictability of drugs can lead to an overdose and health. All right. So, uh, as part of our review, when we see about freeform outline, it's not organized from top to bottom. A free form outline records information from a structured lecture, and it's like a diagram with the main idea in the center and related information branch off from it. But it helps the reader to recall the information easily. Now for modified outline also, it uses main ideas as headings and lists important details under each headings. And of course, the details are numbered, lettered, or marked to make them easy to locate. All right. Then here, the formal outline. Okay. A formal outline is either a topic outline or a sentence outline. That's what Mark has remembered. Okay. And he is correct. It follows a conventional format where details are divided into smaller subsections under each main idea. And this outline is useful for taking detailed notes from the textbooks or reference books. So again, we're still on the review part. It is also helpful in preparing papers and speeches. And with that, I would like to greet watching, listening from Echagi West District, Doña Magdalene H. Gafford. Hello, Jana Eden De Leon. Okay, we have also here Princess Manalo. Good afternoon, Princess. Edson Myrina Rias watching from SDO, Mabalacat City. Jen Camanyas Marada. Ayan, good afternoon. April Joy Makarilay. Okay, so Shireen Zay Miguel is watching also from YouTube. Watching from Sangbay Integrated School, Nagtipunan North District is the Quirino. Wow. Now here for our last part in the review, you have read the article and the side, and we need to complete now the outline by referring back to the article. Okay, so we need to supply the blanks with an appropriate answer. Hello, Glennie from Division of Lapu-Lapu City. Okay, thank you for joining our grade 8 class. So here's the example in our topic outline. In the phases, the abuse of alcohol and drugs can affect a person economically, psychologically, and of course, physically. So it's not good to anyone to take alcohol and drugs, especially of greater amount, because it can really affect not just our economic, but our, our psychological and physical aspect. Now here, in the topic outline, and Roman numeral number 1, economic effects is the main idea. And we have also letter A, the sub-idea, alcohol. Now, there's a missing thing here in letter B. What do you think should be written in letter B? Anyone? Okay. What will we put here in letter B? If letter A is alcohol as the sub idea, how about in letter B? We have here also number one, cost of alcohol purchases. That's the detail of A. And number two, cost of DUIS, detail of A. Now we have here the detail of B, cost of drug purchases. We have the detail of B, the cost of drug arrest. But what is the sub idea? What's missing here in letter B? Okay, let's check your answer. Okay, if letter A is alcohol, the sub idea in letter B is drugs. Yes, you are correct. If you will read again the article, it talks about the alcohol and drugs. Now, how about in Roman numeral number 2? Okay, what's missing here? If the main idea in Roman numeral number 1 is economical effects, how about in number 2? Wow, according to Tuyan Rosalyn, the effect of drugs. Okay, let's check. Okay, in number 2, it's not just the effect, but the specific psychological effects of drugs. Okay, so that's the Roman numeral number 2. Okay, psychological effects. For letter A, alcohol, we have here the detail of letter A. Number 1 is missing, number 2 is mental addiction. So what do you think is the psychological effect of alcohol? One is mental addiction. What's the other one? Yes, mental impairment. That's one of the reason why we should avoid alcohol, especially those pregnant women. Please avoid drinking any alcoholic drink if you're pregnant because it can impair the mental aspect of your child. Okay, again, one of the psychological effects of alcohol is mental impairment and mental addiction. Okay. So, hello, Lucy Celeste, watching from Kapatagan National High School. Oh, okay. I know that place. I have been there many times. Okay. Now, we have here in letter B, talks about the drugs. Okay, the details of letter B, mental impairment and mental addiction. So, meaning to say alcohol and drugs have common psychological effects. Now, how about for physical effects? We have here letter A, the missing part. Okay. Anyone who wants to answer here? Uh, Under number 4 or the Roman numeral number 3, physical effects. Number letter A here is still blank. What is the missing answer here? Yes, it talks about alcohol. Okay. So alcohol can give also physical effects. What are example? Or what are the details of alcohol? Okay, it can cause liver disease, specifically the liver cirrhosis or cirrhosis of the liver, or it's like cancer of the liver. And number 2, alcohol poisoning. Now, under the physical effects, we have here letter B, drugs. Number 1 is brain damage. It can affect our brain when you take drugs. How about in number 2? And number 2, it can also anyone can experience also drug overdose. Okay, so again, this is just a review. Now let's proceed now to our new lesson. Here's the objectives. Okay, objective number 1. At the end of the session, you will be able to determine essential information from various sources. And number 2, synthesize essential information from various sources. All right. So, yes, I know everyone is now ready. You are watching there and you are ready to participate. Hello to Yan Rosalyn. I see your answer. And Jade Uwalat watching, listening from Ichage West District. Dunya Magdalena, H. Gafford High School. Jade Lance from Uwalat, 8 rows, from grade 8 rows. Wow. Okay. So, here, in our objectives class, what do you think is the most important word here? Okay. Give me a word that struck you most. Anyone? Okay. In our objectives, give me a word that struck you most. So there are 2 objectives for today. Determine essential information from various sources And second, synthesize essential information from various sources because it's not enough to determine essential information, but to synthesize it is also a vital one. All right. So, in these objectives, the word uh, essential information and the synthesized and essential information are very significant words for us to be guided in our lesson this afternoon. Now, let's have first here the topic gathering information. So, what do you mean by gathering information? So, gathering information is essential to a good report and any academic article. So, you, my dearest learners, grade 8 learners, your teachers might ask you, like, do a research about this topic. For example, your lesson is all about parts of speech or figures of speech, then your teacher will ask you to gather information in a form of research. Okay, so when we talk about gathering information, it is vital and it is very essential to a good report. You can never uh, give or deliver a good report without gathering factual information. Okay, and any academic article will never be pushed through or will never be passable without gathering information. Okay, now, my dearest grade 8 learners, do you know how to gather factual information? Do you know how to gather relevant information? Mm, that are questions that you should ask yourself because we have the tendency to just gather information without considering, is it factual? Is it relevant? Something like that, right? Actually, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. There are a lot of factors that you need to consider in gathering information. Okay. So here, there are three rules in gathering information. Now, what are these three rules in gathering information? It is also known as the triple A rule in gathering information. Do you know what are these three A rule in gathering information? So this means to say all started with letter A. Okay, so here, rule number one, diba? There are three A rules. So the first rule starts with letter A. Admit. Admit that you don't know. Why? Why I gather information? Why I need to gather information? Why do I need to do research? Why do I need to read books? Why do I need to go to the library and borrow relevant books regarding the topic that I need to uh, know more information about it? Okay, so why? For most, or the first step is to admit that you don't know exactly what's the topic all about. Okay, if you know how to admit that you don't know, of course, you have the motivation to gather the needed information in different platforms. Nowadays, we used to research, we used to gather information by surfing the internet. There are a lot of search engines that we can utilize: Google, Bing. We have also Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, and in some other online websites, journals, and even in YouTube. There are a lot of things that we can know. So, rule number one, admit that you don't know. Now, what's the second rule in gathering information? Second, it starts with letter A, ask. Ask the question or ask a question. It's okay to ask question, okay? Mm, because other people think that asking question is not good because it seems like you don't know anything. All right. So let's swallow our pride so that we can learn more, we can gather more information. by admitting that we don't know this one and let's ask a question so that we will be well guided. So this time, thank you so much, Alexis Viernes, watching from Parais High School, Division of San Jose City, from grade 8 Amethyst. And Sunshine Panganiban also from grade 8 Jasmine. So welcome, welcome everyone. So again, we have three rules in gathering information. Rule number one, admit that you don't know. Number two, ask the question. And number three, ask open-ended question. It's not just about asking a question, but make sure your question is open-ended. Okay? Uh, Not a question answerable by yes or no, but an open-ended question. You can reason out, you can explain why. All right, so let's have first the information gathering. When we talk about information gathering, it refers to gathering information about the issue you're facing and the ways others, organizations, and communities have addressed it. The more information you have about the issue itself and the ways it has been approached, the more likely you are to be able to devise an effective program or intervention of your own. Yes, I agree with this. Information gathering is very important part of teaching and learning activity. All right, and information gathering is vital, especially for teachers. You cannot teach what you don't know. You cannot give what you don't have. Same with the learners. Your teachers are asking you relevant answer, relevant information. And of course, you cannot give what you are not searching for. You cannot share what you're not having. Okay, so you need to study, you need to research, you need to gather information. Okay, so when you talk about information gathering, it's about the issue that you're facing and the ways other organizations and communities have addressed. And this one is important. Synthesis. The synthesis here is spelled Synthesis. This is a singular form. Okay, but here on top in the below part, the spelling of synthesis is Syntheses. This is the plural form. Now here, a synthesis is known as the written text. Okay, a written text presenting or discussing information from several texts from other type of resources. Meaning, when you talk about synthesis, it involves combining two or more summaries. Okay, shortening of thought. You are getting the gist. You are getting the most important part of that uh, lesson, for example, most important part of that write up or article. So, in synthesizing information, always remember synthesis is an important academic skill. Yes, remember synthesis is an academic skill and a form of analytical writing. Okay, because learners should have skills, all right, communication skills, because academic skill and analytical skill is part of communication skills because it's more on writing. You need to analyze the write up, okay, or you need to put it on writing. So it involves grouping ideas together from others within the body of your assignment. And when we talk about synthesizing information, it draws insight from a range of literature to identify both similar and contradictory ideas. Yes, you need to determine which of these ideas are similar and which of these are contradictory, with a view to establishing links, tensions, and threads to support one's argument. So it's really a need for us to know how to synthesize information. So here, when we talk about synthesis, it's from the Greek word. It means putting together. Okay, good idea here, nice idea here. Then we put it together. Okay, it's like now, it's like a compound sentence already. Like This is the main idea, one sentence. Another idea, one sentence. Another summary, like when you summarize an article, summarize it into one sentence. Then when you put it together, it's no longer a summary but a synthesis. Okay, so its English meaning is the same, the putting together of something out of two or more different sources. Okay, maybe one of your sources from internet, you research some journal, some article, some thesis, or any published digitally published materials. Okay, or other resources, you got it from books, from dictionaries, or from encyclopedia, or any other sources. And synthetic fabric, for example, for instance, here, synthetic fabrics, for instance, are called that because. Why it's called synthetic fabrics? Because they're constructed from a number of different chemical building blocks. Chemical building blocks. It's not from natural. That's why it's called synthetic. The fabric is not made from natural material, organic material, but the material of this fabric came from different chemical building blocks being mixed together. That's why it's called synthetic fabric. You know what a fabric is? It's like the thread of our clothes. Like for example, I'm wearing this one. There are a lot of threads in this uh, blouse. Okay. So there are fabric made from organic or synthetic materials. Okay. Hello, Paul Brian Basalo. Good PM watching from ISIS JAS First District. We have also here John Mark Cadiante watching from Villafogo Integrated School, Aurora Isabela. John Mark Cadiante, grade 8, Lawin. So moving on. Synthesizing is like putting a puzzle together. Okay, you have a lot of parts of the puzzle. When you put it together, wow, it's now a whole. It's like detailed, a lot of details there. There are 10 parts, for example. When you put it together, it's now a whole puzzle, a whole thing. You have to sort out your thinking and put it in the right place. And here, let's compare summarizing and synthesizing. So, summarizing versus synthesizing. Summarizing is identifying key points and organizing thoughts, a listing of the parts. You need to list, oh, this is too, there are too many words here. It's so hard to comprehend, it's hard to understand. So we need to summarize it into a phrase or summarize an article into a sentence, for example. So again, when you talk about summarizing, it's identifying key points, very important words, and organize it. And you can have the list. Of, for example, summarizing a story. This is the setting, the character of the story, and these are the detailed events of the story. So that's summarizing. That's one. Okay, and summarizing usually occurs at the end. And synthesizing is the creation of the whole from one little part. When you put it together, it's now a big whole. And it goes on throughout the process of reading, not just at the end. It means to say, as you read along an article, as you read along a story, when you try to comprehend it part by part, it goes on throughout the process as you read it. Okay, just at the end. So it is bringing together different ideas and facts and weaving them together into a tapestry, into a wonderful whole, into a relevant whole. So something much larger than all of the thread. All right. So it's good to see uh, a thing being synthesized because you can see now the most valuable part of the story, for example, or the most valuable part of the article. Now, in synthesizing, when the reader when the readers put all the pieces together, they can identify the essential storyline. Okay, they can identify the essential storyline and ask, what does it all mean to me? Okay. Another, it can generate question, apply background knowledge, and discuss it with others. That's why it's good to be with someone. Oh, I believe no man is an island. We cannot live alone. We need other people. We need other people to help us, or sometimes we are the one helping them. It's a give and take relationship. So when the readers put all of the pieces together, okay, they can identify the essential storyline and ask, what does it all mean to me? Or they can generate question, apply background knowledge, and discuss it with others. And if you do that, that means to say you are synthesizing. You are synthesizing. You're trying to get the synthesis of the story or the article. Okay. And in synthesizing, through the process of it, their thinking or the thinking of those who are reading deepens. Their thinking deepens. They can go deeper. They can dig deeper. They can swim beyond what our eyes can see and what our mind can conceive. But the most important thing, their understanding grows. Their understanding grows. So again, through the process of synthesizing, their thinking deepens and their understanding grows. So if you're now in your status grade 8, that you can think deeper and you know how to synthesize, to tell you, uh, your understanding grows. You're getting mature. That's good for you. Now, there are steps in synthesizing. We need to consider these steps. First, read your source material. Regardless of the material that you are having in your hand, regardless of the materials that you are having in your corner, in your house, in your bedroom, or in your classroom, or in your tablet, in your cell phone, uh, there are a lot actually reading materials in there, in your laptop, in your desktop, but you need to read the source, or else if you will not read it with comprehension, it's useless. Okay. Number two, make notes from each source using your own words. Wow. You should know how to paraphrase. Sometimes it's so hard, really, to use our very own words, especially if you are trying to get the gist of what we are reading. So why not make notes of it? And of course, try to write words on your own. Okay, use your own words. Make notes from each source using your own words. So you can paraphrase, you can use synonyms or antonyms or any other skill that you can and that you can integrate. Now, number three, using a blank piece of paper, create a grid using one box for each source according to the authors and information. Okay, you can do that. And complete the grid by making the bullet points of the main ideas from each source. And look for a common theme and identify the arguments from each other. Oh, human as we are, sometimes we like to argue, we like to discuss things. Okay, that's healthy. And yeah, I agree with that. As long as it's not too much, okay? So there are steps in synthesizing. I hope you will take note with this. Number six, present your argument using a new paragraph for each new argument. Okay, so I'm so glad that Angel Guyab is watching with us from Villafogo Integrated School. Well, I'm so proud of your school. How come your teacher enabled to encourage you to join sessions here in ETUlay? And I think you're from the same advisor because you're from grade 8 Lawin, Angel Guyab. You have Crizel Joy Ramos, same school, same section. Wow, I salute your teacher for inspiring you to be here with me this afternoon or with the rest of the tutor in ETUlay. Crizel Joy Ramos, good afternoon also. Okay, so we have here Zai Rivera. Good afternoon, watching from Pampanga. Zyrene May L. Rivera, Bacolor Elementary School, grade 4, Bonifacio. Okay, so we have here Rose Takis Isidro from grade 9, Diamond. Okay, so again, these are the steps in synthesizing. Read your source material. Make notes from each source using your own words. Using a blank piece of paper, create a grid using one box for each source according to the author's information. Then complete the grid by making bullet points of the main ideas from each source. Then 5. Look for common themes and identify the arguments from each other. And 6. Present your argument using a new paragraph for each new argument. Okay, now we're here in learning task 1. So in our learning task 1, you need to identify if the statements are true or false. Okay. Hello, 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 grade 8 learners. You need to give your answer, identify the statement, write true, no, sorry, write T beside the number if the statement is true. That's the instruction, huh? Write T beside the number if the statement is true, and write F if it's false. Okay, let's have the number 1. Number 1, synthesizing is the same as summarizing. Okay, based from my discussion a while ago, is it true or false? Synthesizing is the same as summarizing. Are synthesizing and summarizing the same? Okay, comment down your answer. Is it true or false? So I hope to read your names. I hope to see your answers. Go, go, go. Yes. All right. For number 1, yes, I see your answer, Crisami Bayawaw Batallones. Okay. So the statement goes like this. Synthesizing is the same as summarizing. Is it true or false? If you listened to me a while ago, you can really get the correct answer. And the correct answer is synthesizing is the same as summarizing. Is it true or false? Oh, I have discussed, diba, a while ago, I have compared what do you mean by summarizing and what do you mean by synthesizing. Summarizing, it's like getting the main idea, but in synthesizing, it's like putting the important ideas into a whole, putting things together. And the correct answer for number 1 is it's false, meaning synthesizing is not the same as summarizing. Okay, the answer is false. That's why it's letter F. How about in number 2? Existing sources refers to published material of various kinds that might shed light either on the issue or on attempts to deal with it. Is it true or false? Okay, for number 1, you are correct, Tuyan Roseline. Your answer is false. How about in number 2? Existing sources refers to published materials of various kinds that might shed light either on the issue or an attempt to deal with it. True or false? Wow, I see your answer, Yulani, Anna Marie, Tuyan. Yes, according to your answers, it's T or true. Let's check. Yes, you are correct. It's really true. Okay. Now, in number 3, gathering information is essential to a good report and any academic article. Yeah, I have discussed this one a while ago. I told you what's the essence of gathering information. Yes, uh, there are several ways on how to gather, and there are several sources we can gather through the uh, and surfing the internet by using the search engine. You can also use the books in the library. You can even have uh, some articles from the newspaper or some other published materials, right? So here, hello, Chrisami, your answer is also correct. Anna Marie, your answer is correct. It's true. So how about the number three now? Gathering information is essential to a good report and any academic material. I see now the answer of Cresami. Oh, Glenny. All right. According to Glenn, the answer is T or true. According to Cresami, the answer is true. Let's check. Yes, you are correct. Gathering information is essential to a good report and any academic article. So it's true. It's letter T. Okay, how about the number four? Organizing sources is an important skill in synthesizing. Organizing sources is an important skill in synthesizing. Is it true or false? Hmm. According to my learners here, the answer is ta-da-da. Okay, it's true, meaning it's letter T because you need to write letter T beside the number if the statement is true. Since the statement is true, we write letter T. So organizing sources is an important skill in synthesizes. Okay. Now, in number five, synthesis is from the Greek word. It means putting together. True or false? If your answer is true, write letter T. If your answer is false, write letter F. Okay. Wow, according to Anna Marie, the answer is letter T. From Tuyan Rosalyn, the answer in number five is letter T or true. Let's check, guys. Yes, good job. It's letter T. Well done, everyone, for our learning task one. You have here the answers. Okay, so let me wrap up the learning task one. Okay, synthesizing is the same as summarizing, and that statement that is false. Okay, and number two, existing sources refers to published material of various kinds that might shed light either on the issue or an attempt to deal with it. That is true, and you are correct. And in number three, gathering information is essential to a good report and any academic article. And still, your answer is correct because you write letter T. Very good. And in number four, organizing sources is an important skill in synthesizing. Yes, you are correct. It's letter T because it's true. And in the last, synthesis is from the Greek. It means putting together. And we have here Chrisana May by Yawa Batalyones. You are correct. Christian Salota, you are correct. Good job. And also Anna Marie Lerma, your answers are correct. Okay, for the learning task two. Now here, in our learning task two, I have given here the answers already. In number one, synthesizing is not summarizing. Take note, synthesizing is not summarizing. They are two different. Synthesizing is different, summarizing is different. Okay, so here, when we talk about synthesizing, it's combining two or more summary. It's like that. All right. Then for number two, the following are the steps in synthesizing except letter D. Okay. Because there are several steps in synthesizing. I have showed you a while ago the steps in synthesizing. Step there were six steps in summarizing in synthesizing. Okay, yes, outlining the structure is one, organizing sources, but here the summarizing and sorting is not included. Okay, and in number three, this is one of the rules in gathering information. Remember, there are three rules a while ago, the 3A. Yes. And number three, it's letter A. Admit that you don't know. That's one of the rules. That's the first rule. Admit that you don't know. The number two, ask question. And third, make sure you ask the open ended question. Okay. Then, in number four, what is required in synthesizing? The answer is all of the above. Why? Because in synthesizing, remember, it should be organized. Then, in synthesizing, it should explain information and sources and helps the reader understand them in greater depth. Okay? Make sure that your readers can go deeper, can comprehend what is she or he is reading between the line. Okay, and it should help readers to see in a way, in such to see in a new way the information from the sources. That's why the answer in number four is all of the above. And in number five, these are the categories of argumentative synthesis. Okay, except letter D, the natural. Okay, actually there are different categories of argumentative synthesis. Okay, but we can tackle it, but our time is not that much. Okay, our time is very limited. Okay, so uh, yes, that's the part of the learning task. Okay, so I know some of you are uh, might be late a while ago. So these are the steps in synthesizing. Let me have the wrap up. Number one, read your source material. I know your teachers are giving you materials for you to study, for you to read, so that you can develop your reading skills, you can develop your studying skills, and of course you can also develop your communication skills. And when you talk about communication skills, there are macro skills behind it. You have the listening skills, you have the writing skill, reading skill, and of course speaking skills. So number two, make notes from each source using your own words. So it's like note taking. And with that, make sure you are using your unique words. You are, so of course you cannot write unique words if your vocabulary is very limited. So make sure you develop, you improve your vocabularies. Then in number three, using a blank piece of paper, create a grid using one box for each source according to the author and information. Yes, you need to write down, for example, this information, you should know who is the author. You should know where it came from. Where did you extract that information? Who is the author? Sometimes it's good also to know what kind of material uh, did you able to grab that information. Is it from internet? Is it from website? Is it from journal? Is it from books? Is it from unpublished material? Is it from newspaper or anything, any source of material? Then in number five, look for common themes and identify the arguments from each other. Okay, there are a lot of theme that you can have, but we need to have the common. Okay, like for example, this information is talking about verbs. The information here is talking about adverbs. Another information here is talking about preposition. Or in an article, this topic is focusing on the alcohol, the effects of alcohol, the uh, psychological and the physical effects of alcohol. Or the other theme here, it talks about drugs. Mm. Or another theme here talks about love. Or it talks about friendship. And next, it talks about the uh, likes and dislikes of a person. Or it depends on the author of that material. So you need to present your argument using a new paragraph for each new argument. That's how to synthesize. Okay? Because in summarizing, you will just get the words or the phrase from the article that you are reading or writing, for example. But here in synthesizing, make sure your information is unique already. It's closer to original one. Okay, your argument is solid. Your argument is convincing. Okay, so that's why you need to prepare. You need to know how to synthesize so that when you present your argument and it's in a new form, new paragraph, each argument is very detailed, very clear. Wow, that's an awesome way of synthesizing. All right, so with that, our time is not that much, so we're done with the learning task 1 and learning task 2. So thank you so much for watching. So every Tuesday again, we are live in DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd Philippines, DepEd Tayo, FB pages, and even in YouTube. We are live in DepEd Edtech Unit and DepEd TV. So everyone, thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for your time and presence. So once again, I'm Tutor Ruby with your English 8. So see you next week. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day. Let's choose.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!